Okay, so remember it's the cycle. Remember it's the cycle. We have to remember the cycle. The cycle starts with what? Bookkeeping, journal, ledger, then trial balance, trading account, profit and loss. So this is what you have to do when you go to your workplace. When you go to your workplace. Okay. So this is what we are trying to train you. Marks is very, very important, but when you go to your workplace, you should also know how to work, right? So that is very, very important. So I'll go step by step. Bookkeeping, then you have journals, then you have ledgers, then you have trial balance, then trading account, profit and loss account, finally balance sheet. Okay, this is a quick revision of the entire year. Okay, so we start with bookkeeping. So bookkeeping will be your cash memos. You get something like paid to something. Okay, now you know what a cash memo looks like. So you get this. The moment you get this, you will have to classify it. You have to classify it into 5 accounts. You have assets, liabilities, then you have capital, then you have income, then you have expense. So this is what you have. The moment you see any receipt, any payment, any cash memo, okay, you have to start categorizing them into this. Okay, let's start with the first one. Asset means, let me use for an example, furniture. Okay, asset means furniture. Please remember, there's a difference between asset and goods, right? So here we are talking about assets. So we bought a furniture, and what is happening to that furniture? When you buy a furniture, 2 things happen. Number 1, the furniture in the company will increase, right? Before you had no furniture, now you have furniture. What is happening? Your assets are increasing. Your assets are increasing. So your furniture is increasing. The rule is, I already told you, you remember these 5 accounts? The rule is, when asset increase, it is debited. Right? Then expense and assets, brothers. Brothers. Same. So all the sisters will be opposite. Right? Then credit, all opposite. Minus, plus, minus. When my asset increase, debited. When my asset decrease, credited. Same thing applies for everything. You look at this formula. So what do you need to remember? Asset increases, it is debited. That's all. Now I bought a furniture. What is furniture? So furniture, 2 things will happen. Furniture and cash. 2 things will happen. Think from the company's perspective. 2 things will happen. Okay? My furniture will increase, my cash will decrease. Why? Because I paid. Here, sir, here's your cash. Gone. Cash is gone, right, from the company? So that means your asset, cash also is an asset, right? You learn from the assignment. Cash also is an asset, so it is decreasing, and so it will be in the credit side. Your furniture is increasing, and so it will be in the debit side. Are we understanding the logic? Should we go a little slower? Or it's okay? It's okay? Alright, so furniture bought, it's increasing for the company, it's in the debit side. Cash is outgoing because we paid for the furniture, that's why it is in the credit side. Now, first step, we saw the receipt, that's why we did it, right? Then, now the journal. The journal, don't forget, the journal, you have to always write your formats. Your format will be your date, and then you have your particulars, then you have your LF, and then your debit amount, and then your credit amount. Okay? Furniture to cash. Date, whatever the date is, mention it. LF, we're not going to deal with it right now. Debit amount, whatever the cost is. Credit amount, whatever the cost is. And don't forget your narration. Narration carries very, very important part in journals. Okay? Okay, so narration, you always start with being. So that is your narration. Next, ledger. How many ledgers will come out from here? 2 ledgers will come out from here. So let's say the amount 1,000, 1,000. Okay? So 2 ledgers. Ledger number 1, furniture account. Ledger number 2, cash account. Ledger. Okay? For furniture first. Furniture is, we are going to make furniture right now. So that means we ignore furniture. Don't look at furniture anymore. So you look at cash. Cash is in the credit side. Now it comes to the debit side. Cash. Okay? How much? 1,000. Finish. Anything else to write? No. Find what we say? Balancing, right? So balancing, 1,000 this side, 1,000 this side. That's called balancing. So how much is the balance? Balance is 1,000 rupees. This balance is the amount of furniture. So how much is the value of furniture right now? 1,000. How much of furniture do you have now in the company? 1,000. That is the meaning of a ledger. Cash, same thing. Okay? Cash, if you are making cash account, don't look at cash. Look at furniture. Furniture is in the debit, so it goes to the credit. Furniture. How much? 1,000. Anything else? No. So now you do the balancing. 1,000, 1,000. So, pending, right? What is that called? Balance. Balance how much? 1,000 rupees. Here, actually, cash, we didn't do any sums. That's why the cash is appearing in the debit side. Actually, it shouldn't be like that. Okay, we should have more cash in the company. But for this is an example. But at least you get the meaning of ledger. How to solve a ledger. Okay, so the same thing will apply. Now let's look at liabilities. Liabilities. What is liabilities? Let's think of a liability. Sundry creditors. Sundry creditors. So the same thing. Sundry creditors. We don't. When does sundry creditor come to the picture? When we don't pay using cash. I don't pay cash. So same thing. I buy another furniture now. Furniture number 2. Okay. I buy another furniture. And this furniture, I'm not gonna pay cash. I'm gonna take it on credit. Okay? So, from whom I'll take it on credit? Let's say we'll take it from Chichia's shop. Okay? So, to Chichia, 1,000 rupees. Did we pay cash? No. We have to pay Chichia. So she is the sundry creditor. Why? Because she is giving me furniture without any money on credit. Are you clear? I saw a lot of these mistakes in the tests. You did it opposite, you were confused. I saw the confusion in the test papers. Okay? So please note, furniture will remain as it is. It will still increase now. Furniture will increase only it is an asset. So it will be the debit side. But this is our credit, sundry creditor. Who is Chichia now? She is the sundry creditor. Let's look at this. Okay? Sundry creditor means liabilities. Right? Did you have any liabilities before? Now you have, right? That means your liability is increasing, right? Now you understand why is it in the credit side? Okay? Got it? So that is for liabilities. Now, if I have to continue my ledger, now, furniture account, let's say another 1,000, right? So, this balance will not be there now. I continue my ledger. So, in your workplace, when another transaction happens, you have to make another transaction, right? So, furniture is, you are making furniture ledger, so you ignore furniture, you know that, right? Chicha is in the credit, chicha will come to debit. Chicha another 1,000. So 2,000, 2,000. What is the balance? 2,000. The question is, how much of furniture do you have in your company now? 2,000 rupees. Done? Clear? That is for sundry creditors, which is a liability. We can do more. Capital, you know all the capitals are given to the assignment. Income, also you know what is an income, right? You have sales, you have different kinds of things. Even purchase return somehow turns to be an income. Okay, there are many other incomes. You have rent received, you have commission received, so many receivables. All those are incomes. And then your expenses. You have again so many kinds of expenses. You have to pay your rent, you have to pay electricity bill, you have to pay your commission, you have to pay so many things, salary, so many things to pay. Those are all expense. And all will work in the same way. All will work in the same way. Okay? Since this is the revision, I'm not going to go in detail. Now I'll go into the what? Trial balance. Trial balance. So trial balance, debit, credit, right? What did we discuss? What comes in the debit side? What comes in the debit side? Assets and expense. The brothers, right? Brothers. Assets and expense. How many have we made? We have made only these two: furniture, cash. Both are supposed to be in the debit side. So how much is the balance for furniture? 2,000. How much is the balance for cash? 1,000. Of course, this calculation is incomplete. There's so much more to do. No business will start without capital. No business will start without cash. We are buying furniture without cash because we're just revising. Okay? But what you need to understand is all the assets. Furniture is an asset, it is in the debit side. Cash is an asset, it is in the debit side. If there is any kind of expense, it is supposed to appear in the debit side. And then you have any liabilities, all appear in the credit side. You have your capital, income, everything appears in the credit side. That is your trial balance. Now we're just focusing on these two. We're not going to deal with others. Okay? Now you have to take this to your trading account. So your trading account, trading and P&L account. Right? So what usually appears in your trading account? What usually appears? Opening stock. Right? Opening stock. Do we have any opening stock here? No. Do we have any sales? No. Do we have any purchase? No. Nothing. These are all, this is actually an asset. Both are assets. One is a liability, one is an asset. So nothing actually fits here. So you don't have to do it. You can skip it. So how much is your gross profit? Doesn't matter. Not applicable. Not applicable. Okay? Why? Because it is not part of trading account. If it is not part of trading account, you don't have to do it. Okay? You don't have to do it. Anyway, just for understanding's sake, let us use one more transaction for, let's say, sell something. Let's sell something. Okay? Usually when we sell, let's say cash. Okay? Cash to sales. This is always the journal for sales. Just like purchase to cash is always for purchase, cash to sales is always for sales. Okay? Now let's use this logic. What is cash? Cash is an asset. When you sell things, then what happens? Money is coming to the business. So that means your assets are increasing, so it is debited. That's why it is debited. Sales, you can categorize it under income because it is an income, right? You get income because of sales, right? So what is happening to our income? It is increasing, and so it is in the credit side. Let's just use random amount, another 1,000 cash to sales. Okay, if you have to make ledger, cash will come here. So cash, if you are making cash account here, so here you ignore cash, right? Sales is in the credit, sales will go to the debit. Sales will go to the debit, 1,000. This balance will not be there yet, right? And so, what is the balance? Nil. The balance is nil. There is no balance because we receive 1,000 of cash and we pay 1,000 cash. Balance nil. On the other hand, for sales, we have to make another ledger for sales, right? And so, for sales, if you make a ledger, you know how it should be. Sales, under sales, you ignore sales, cash is in the debit, cash goes to credit. How much? 1,000. So balance is going to be 1,000. How much of sales did you make this year? 1,000. That will be the answer. Okay? Why are you preparing this? Because you want to answer these questions. How much of sales did you make this year? Sales account shows me 1,000. 1,000 is my sales this year. Okay? So now because of that, now we can jump to this. Our trial balance can now, of course, improve. Our cash is now nil, so we don't write anything on cash. But our sales definitely has something. So sales is what? Sales is in the income. So it will come here. Right? 1,000. See, the answer is not going to match because we don't have a full-fledged question. Okay? But for your understanding's sake, this is good enough. Alright, so trading account now. What comes in the debit side? Opening stock, purchase, wages, all those different kinds of direct expenses, which we don't have. But we do have sales. Sales is 1,000 rupees. So balancing 1,000, 1,000. You have a gross profit of 1,000 rupees. You have a gross profit of 1,000 rupees. This gross profit goes to the profit and loss account, right? Gross profit goes to the profit and loss. So you don't have to write profit and loss account anymore. It continues in the same format. Okay? So now gross profit has been transferred down to the profit and loss. 1,000. There is nothing else, no other transaction, right? Which are indirect in nature. So now 1,000 balancing, 1,000 balancing. This amount that you get is called the net profit. Net profit. Here actually in the profit and loss account you have to make so many payments, indirect payments like your rents, your electricity bills, so many kinds of expenses you have to pay, your insurance and so many other things, okay? But for us we're just revising, so we're not dealing with all of that. So now how much of net profit do we have? 1,000 rupees. Now this net profit will go to your balance sheet. Your balance sheet comprises of liabilities and assets. What are your liabilities? Your liabilities, we didn't make one ledger. We are supposed to make one more ledger. Sundry creditors. Sundry creditors. You remember Chichia is our sundry creditor? So she is supposed to be here. Sundry creditor. So sundry actually is supposed to be capital first. But do we have capital? We didn't deal with anything like that, so there is no capital here, so we can ignore it. But we still can keep it. Why? You know why? Because we got a net profit, no? We got a net profit, and net profit has to be added to the capital. So capital nil, net profit 1,000. So how much of capital you have now? 1,000 rupees. This is your liabilities. How much of sundry creditors do you have? Sundry creditors, you have to pay Chichia 1,000 rupees for the furniture, right? And then on the asset side, what do you have? You have your furniture, right? Furniture. How much of furniture do you have? 2,000 rupees. How much of furniture you have? 2,000 rupees. So there you go, furniture. You have anything else? Cash. Cash is nil. Cash is nil, right? Because you got 1,000 from sales and you paid 1,000 for furniture. So how much of cash you have left? 0. Right? Anything else that we have missed out? Cash is done, furniture is done, sales is already done, and yeah, everything is done. Right? So how much is the balance? Always remember, balance sheet is supposed to tally 2,000, 2,000. Did it tally? Yes, it did. Okay? Clear? So this is what is required from you even in your exams as well. If you know how to do this, you are ready to work for many firms. Not corporate world, but for many organizations, for many institutions like schools especially, you are ready to work. Okay? So around here in Meghalaya, I would say you are ready to work if you know this much. Okay? Unless you go for the corporate world. Okay?